Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Carol Lee Kane. I'm a certified health and wellness consultant. I'm working on a certified nutritionist program as well. And today we are continuing our series on 4 weeks to keto. And this program is designed to help you go from being brand new with keto to being an expert in just 4 weeks while giving you a full week to focus on one meal at a time, with week 4 being some advanced strategies and some troubleshooting. And last week we talked about breakfast. So hopefully up to this point you've watched the core video so you understand what it is we do here at Wakaya to make sure that our digestion, detox, inflammation, as well as essential nutrients, to make sure that we're covering those core pillars of health so that when we go to do keto, to whether it's to help with a health challenge or to lose weight, that our bodies are primed and ready and functioning optimally. That core comes even before keto. So make sure that you watch that video. It's included in our resources section on Keto Made Easy. Make sure you've watched the intro video to this program so you understand a little bit more about it. You want to have listened to week 1 for breakfast. If you're just hitting week 2 and you haven't listened to week 1, make sure you go back and catch that, because we're going to review some things from week 1, but not go into full detail. And then also you want to make sure that you have gotten that amazing Make It Keto cookbook from our keto chef, Jennifer Winder. That is so worth it. There's something like 100 recipes in it. So easy, so delicious, recipes that everyone will like. And with that, let's jump into it. As we get started, we always have our disclaimer statement. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. You should consult with your personal physician or other medical professional. We prefer that you talk with someone who understands nutrition, the ketogenic lifestyle, and nutrition whenever appropriate. And average weight loss is approximately 1 to 2 pounds a week, up to 15 pounds total. If you want a copy of this, please let me know. And we're just going to start out with a little bit of a review of what we went into more detail with week 1. Remember that your fat and protein ratios in keto are the key to success. If you want to be in ketosis, where you're getting those health benefits of losing weight, your food at each and every meal, not a daily total, needs to have that 2-to-1 minimum fat to protein ratio, and preferably that 3-to-1 ratio. So this means that for every 10 grams of protein, you need to have at least 20 of fat. That's what we call the 2-to-1 ratio. A 3-to-1 ratio would mean you were eating 30 grams of fat for every 10 grams of protein. Now, which ratio you use will often depend on your health concerns, your sensitivity to insulin, how your blood sugar is doing, and how much weight you have to lose. That's pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is making sure that your carbs are at the right amounts. Your total carb count absolutely has to be under 50 grams a day. And for many individuals, that's going to be at 25 a day. And here are some tips with those carbs. Most of your carbs need to come from veggies. Be wary of recipes that contain many types of veggies, as the carbs can add up quickly. Examples of this can include veggie soups, bone broth recipes, salads with lots of veggies, etc. Stay with vegetables that grow above ground, generally speaking. 2 vegetables that would grow below ground that are fine are going to be radishes and onions. Sometimes we'll use carrots in moderation, but be careful, as they do pack a lot of carbs, and we generally avoid potatoes and replace it with cauliflower, which, as we go into week 4, we will cover lots of recipes so that you can have all your favorite potato foods that taste just like potatoes. You won't even know the difference. Make sure you review the information in the Getting Started section of KetoMadeEasy.com for food lists and additional suggestions. And cheese is something that we have at almost every meal all of the time. So just remember that when you're looking at cheese in general, cheese is about 1-to-1 fat to protein, or at least within a few grams. And rather than doing a lot of complicated math, I just consider that 1-to-1. Cream cheese is almost your only exception to this rule. Let's look at meat for a moment. Unless your specific label says otherwise, generally hamburger, bacon, and sausage are about equal fat and protein. But be really cautious when you're eating steak, pork chops, and skinless chicken, as they tend to be much higher in protein than fat. And then let's look at fat as well. So butter, coconut oil, MCT, and non-hydrogenated lard are all about 12 to 14 grams of fat per tablespoon. Whereas your cream cheese and heavy whipping cream are almost all fat. Avocado is one of the highest natural fat sources, and macadamia nuts would probably follow it. And if you'd like a copy of these slides, they will be posted with the recording. Now, so when we look at resources for lunch, of course we have the Make It Keto cookbook, which we've already talked about. We have ketomadeeasy.com/lunch. But I want to jump right to one of the newer resources, and that is this one here that you see, the tinyurl.com/lunch and eating out. All right, so now I've gone to that link, that tinyurl.com/lunch and eating out. So when we look at lunch, once you've mastered breakfast, it's time for lunch, right? One of the easiest things to do when we're speaking about lunch, if you're just too busy to make lunch, you're at work, you forgot, you ran out of time, something happened with the kids, then the keto fuel is probably your best option. The keto fuel is here to save you. This is a full meal replacement shake that is chock full of healthy fat, non-GMO dairy, grass-fed whey, whole eggs, MCT oil, and organic ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon. There are so many ways you can have your keto fuel that we've dedicated an entire page, actually 2 pages, to all of the many ways our Bula Fit warriors like to make their keto fuel. And you will see that we have links here to our keto fuel mixology. And this is a list of a whole bunch of different ways that you can make up your keto fuel, whether you're adding your Sport and Go to it, your Daily Detox, your Mineral Garden, your Keto Fizz, and just like coconut milk, almond milk. There's a whole bunch of different recipes that you'll find at this link. You can change up your flavors. You never need to be bored. And then our second resource here called 19 Favorite Ways to Make Your Keto Fuel Shake. This is a page that has all kinds of different ways that our ambassadors like to make their shakes, things they like to add to it, whether they make it hot, whether they make it cold. Of course, you can make it coffee by adding the keto coffee to it. And then don't forget about keto ice cream. You know, if you have access to a fridge with a little freezer, make ice cream ahead of time and bring it along. I know our VP of events and appreciation, Patty Gardner. This is one she loves to do. She'll bring ice cream to work so often. And when you make it with your keto fuel, it can be a full meal. And who doesn't like ice cream? So that probably is the number one resource if you're exceptionally busy and your day has just kind of gone bad. And then another really simple one that so many people enjoy is salads for lunch. And we have a variety of keto-friendly salads here. We have a creamy broccoli salad with bacon, avocado tuna salad, a broccoli and cauliflower salad, a keto potato salad, a keto chicken, spinach, or lettuce salad. All of these are fantastic, high-fat, easy to make, and keto-friendly. And that's not all. We have even more options that we'll talk about later. Another one, keto soups. This is something that you can make ahead the night before, warm it in the crock pot overnight, and then if you have a mini crock pot, you can take it to work and it can heat during the morning and be ready hot and delicious for you. 2 of our all-time favorites are the taco soup and the white chicken chili, which these are links to. I mentioned using the crock pots because I am not a fan of ever using microwaves. And I don't like microwaves because not only do they release radiation into our food, but they alter the chemical or the molecular structure of the food. And that results in the body not knowing how to digest it. Microwaves tend to be a source of toxic exposure that's relatively easy to avoid. And when you use a crock pot, the delicious aromas will have everyone jealous and asking you, what you're enjoying. Now, maybe you're not at work, maybe you're staying at home and you need a little more friendly meal for you or the kids. We have some options there too. Check out the bacon cheeseburger casserole. This is so kid friendly, so kid approved, an absolute favorite. We have cheese shell taco cups, keto friendly beef and broccoli stir fry, cheese stuffed bacon cheeseburgers you can serve with garlic butter broccoli. And these are just a few of the options. Obviously, there's more, but that is a beginning list that you can go to. So now, we've talked about some of the recipes and some of the options. Let's talk about some of the problems that we tend to run into with lunch. And one of those is our fat and protein ratio. So remember, the ketogenic lifestyle is moderate protein, not high protein. And we calculate our protein by dividing our weight by 2.2, and that becomes your protein goal. And remember, that drops as your weight drops. So getting too much protein is the hardest part of eating out, and it will throw you out of ketosis. So remember that in general, for decades, we've lived with this low-fat mentality. And so that's what restaurants have done, right? Everything there is low-fat, no-fat. They've tried to fit that mindset. So as a result, that means that your food tends to be high carb and high protein, which is a problem. So let's look at a standard salad you might pick up, maybe a Caesar salad. And that's the salad on the left. So if you look at that, first off, it's mostly lettuce and croutons. So there's basically no protein. The croutons are high carb. We've got the pesticides in them because they're made from grains. They're containing gluten, so we want to avoid those altogether. There's going to be minimal fat unless you have a dressing, which you need to be cautious of the dressings because of those trans fats we talked about in week 1. See, it's low in calories, so it's not going to keep you full and fueled for very long. On the flip side, let's look at that salad on the right. And that salad is actually our creamy broccoli salad with bacon. So it's got the bacon, which helps with the protein. You could also have it with chicken, tuna, etc. It's got a high-fat, creamy dressing on it, so we've got a healthy amount of calories. And you can even add a dessert to it or a fat bomb. And some of the, and we spoke about this and we went to the website. You can see we've got the creamy broccoli salad, the poppy seed salad, the avocado tuna salad, the chicken spinach salad. And those are just a few to get you thinking about some of the options. Now, what's wrong with this particular meal? Let's say you went to Target and you picked up the Archer Farms brand chicken Caesar salad, or really from anywhere, right? And you had only 3.5 ounces of it. Now that's not very much. You're probably going to want more than that. But it's got 7.9 grams of fat, 11.9 grams of protein, and 2.3 grams of carbs. Number one problem, it's high protein. So you need to add the fat. So you're going to want to top it with an avocado, MCT oil, guacamole. And let me just give you a tip right here because this is so nice these days. You are seeing more and more stores carrying organic individual servings of guacamole. So you can pick this up at a Walmart, a Sam's Club, a Costco, and this can be a great thing. You can top your salad with it or just eat it on the side. Look for healthy ranch dips or serve with dessert like ice cream or peanut butter cookies, chocolate fat bombs. So there's so many options. There's so many ways to fix this. But again, as a caution, beware of salad dressings as they are loaded with trans fat containing vegetable oils. So if you're buying a salad dressing, the brand that I would look for is the Primal salad dressings. They come in a variety of flavors. They are the best options. They don't use your genetically modified, really toxic canola or soybean or corn type oils. They use avocado oil. Now, we don't like a lot of avocado oil because if you think about an avocado, when you cut it open, how quickly does it turn brown? And with the oils, there's not a lot of research on how quickly they spoil as well. We suspect they spoil quickly, the one thing the avocado does have going for it, actually several things, is that they are not genetically modified. They're not raised with as many pesticides in the first place, so they're less toxic. And avocados do have some antioxidants which would protect the oil some. So if you're going to buy one, I would go with that Primal Salad brand. And just don't do a ton of them. Ideally, you're going to do oil-free homemade ones, and we'll give you some resources, some recipes for those. So why are we so concerned about vegetable oils in those salad dressings? Because they're loaded with trans fats. And remember that trans fats are highly toxic and associated with an increased risk of various diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. And that is actually a quote taken from healthline.com, which is a very respected mainstream website, and it's quoting a number of scientific articles in medical journals. Now, so when you're looking for those healthy versions that don't have the oils, again, your Make It Keto cookbook is a great resource for mayonnaise, teriyaki sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauce, and hollandaise sauce. And we have some additional recipes on Keto Made Easy as well. And we went over some of the lunch recipes, but here's some more. What about a nuts and berry salad? This one I'm absolutely crazy about. It's so good because it combines those keto-approved berries, nuts, along with your vegetables, and the taste and dressing are just amazing. Taco salad, chicken salad, Cobb salad, avocado tuna salad, egg salad, buffalo chicken empanadas, creamy white chili, beef enchilada soup, bacon wrapped zucchini. These are all the recipes you get in the lunch section of that that Make It Keto cookbook. Now, let's go into some other lunch ideas where maybe you're not cooking and you're eating out. So hamburger with a lettuce wrap for the bun, and bring along your own keto ice cream, an avocado or fat bomb, or keto-friendly vegetables with a high-fat veggie, full-fat ranch, or cream cheese dip. Get a non-breaded or without the tortilla chicken or steak item, such as rotisserie chicken or lettuce-wrapped fajita, and add your own sources of fat, or add them yourself, or ask for extra guacamole, sour cream. For steak or fish dishes, ask for real butter and load it up. Now remember, you better make sure that it's real butter and not margarine, because a lot of restaurants are only going to have margarine. Again, Keto Fuel ice cream, the Keto Fuel shake, crock pot meals and soups. Look at the Keto on the Go back section on Keto Made Easy. Another favorite, nitrite-free ham or deli meats with cheese. Add an avocado or fat bomb dessert. Or you can even fill that ham with cream cheese. Roll it up and have like stuffed ham, if you will. That's really good. One of my go-tos that's always so easy is to get a nitrite-free organic grass-fed beef summer sausage. That actually is the perfect 2-to-1 fat to protein ratio. So filling, I love it, and sometimes that's all I have for lunch. Now, going back to this, clean keto versus dirty keto. We don't want to trade one disease-causing toxin for another. So let's talk about butter versus margarine. It's a fake fat, and it should never be consumed. And again, remember that trans fats are associated with an increased risk of various diseases like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. And when you're getting those quick meats, when you're on the go in a hurry, remember to always do your best to source out nitrite and nitrate-free versions, as well as looking for hormone-free, no antibiotics, and grass-fed or organic. Remember that nitrates and nitrites contribute to severe kidney damage, one of the leading reasons for our increase in kidney problems today, promote the growth of certain types of cancer, and are recognized by the World Health Organization as carcinogenic. All right, now you have done your best. You've tried to avoid all the toxins, you've made all the healthy swaps you can, but the bad news is that when you are eating out, when you are buying prepared food, you can do the best you can, and you absolutely should, because it makes a big difference. But there are going to be toxins, there's going to be preservatives, there's going to be things in that food you don't even know about and that you can't avoid. This is where calcium bentonite clay will come to your rescue. Our calcium bentonite clay can absorb up to 39 times its weight in toxins. Now, normally when you are using the clay, we tell you take it away from food. Take it on an empty stomach because you don't want to be trying to digest and detox at the same time, right? Well, in the case of a meal where you know that it's loaded with toxins, you know that it's got problems, you actually want to take the clay with the meal. This is important enough that we actually suggest you carry the clay with you if you're going to be eating processed food, eating out a lot. And while we love the daily detox for so many reasons, it's that broad spectrum detox. If you're looking for that immediate, quick, heavy-duty cleanup of toxins you're eating in the moment, you want to go with the Kale Deep Detox, and that's the one on your right. That's the liquid. So take as much as you feel like you need to offset the damage, to offset the toxins. One of the things that I should mention here is, let's say you're gluten intolerant, and while you do your best to avoid gluten, it's not uncommon to have slight contamination in processed or restaurant food. And the Kale is fantastic for helping the body to cope with that, for lessening that reaction. And while normally we keep the Kale in the fridge, don't be afraid to take a little bit out, have it in a smaller container, and keep it in your purse or keep it with you. And just have it with you so that it's there so you can use it when you need to. It's not going to harm you. It's really not going to go bad. So keep the Kale with you. Use it as your secret weapon. It's going to be your best friend in combating those toxins that are unavoidable, that you can't do anything about. And we are back to our resources. And I want to jump to our facts section, our Keto on the Go, and talk about some of the choices that you can choose when you're eating out. Let's scroll down on this page all the way to the bottom, and we're going to go to the facts section of Keto Made Easy and look at fact number 12. And all of these resources will be listed underneath this video once it processes and we post it. So fact number 12, can I do keto on the go? Now this fact section covers a lot of the things that we've already gone over, ways to eat out, ways to eat at hamburger joints, Mexican restaurants. We've already mentioned most of these things, so I'm not going to go over this. I'll let you read through this. But what I wanted to point out was tip number 9 here, which is a link to a list that is an incredible resource that you can take and pick your restaurants and actually write down items on their menu that are safe. So it goes through first many of the things that we've mentioned to avoid, gives you some great visuals. You can see that really easily. But then one of my favorite things is this. It's got a list of common restaurants: McDonald's, Wendy's, Hardee's, In-N-Out, Sonic, Red Robin, Jack in the Box, Chick-fil-A, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, Panera, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Dairy Queen, Arby's, Denny's, Cracker Barrel, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pizza Hut, Dunkin' Donuts, gas stations, grocery stores, Trader Joe's, and on and on. But what I like the best is when it lists a restaurant. So here's Wendy's, for example. It gives you an idea of some things to order that are actually on the menu. So it says, a double stack without bun has about 2 net carbs. A Baconator without the bun has 4 carbs. Grilled chicken sandwich without the bun. So those are some ideas for Wendy's. Hardee's. They mention things specifically on the menu. And if you scroll through this, it lists restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. And these are going to be your best options at these restaurants. It doesn't mean that this food is fantastic or perfectly balanced, right? But it's going to be a lot better than just ordering anything. So these are your best options. Remember, you can always bring in the add-ins that we talked about. And just do the best you can. Don't forget your Kale. And those really are some of the best tips that you can get for eating out. And I would always say that eating out is probably, as a general rule, not a super healthy thing to do, because restaurants, their food items tend to be based on their profit margin rather than on what's healthy for you. But you definitely want to have the option to eat out. Sometimes it's unavoidable, and sometimes you're just tired of cooking at home, right? Hopefully that gives you some ideas of things you can do for lunch, whether you are staying home and feeding the kids or yourself, or you're at work or eating out. That brings us to the end of lunch and eating out. Make sure that you explore KetoMadeEasy.com, sign up for our newsletter, check out the FAQ section, check back often for new recipes. We just posted new recipes for this recording. Use the Getting Started section and more. But knock it, everyone. We will see you again next week for week 3. This is going to focus in on snacking and fat bombs, what to do when you're hungry between meals and you just need more, but you don't want to go to high sugar or high carb food items. And we will see you again next week.